There comes a moment in every life when silence grows too loud to ignore. When the weight of wasted time presses down with such force that it either crushes you or wakes you up. This is that moment. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when you feel ready, right now. Because your financial destiny is not written in the stars. It's carved into stone by the sweat of your decisions, the discipline of your actions, and the depth of your belief. Understand this. Money does not chase the uncertain. Wealth does not bow to the passive. Fortune was never meant for the hesitant. The world bows to the bold. And every empire, every fortune that reshaped history, from Carnegie's steel to Rockefeller's oil to Ford's assembly line, began not with money, not with privilege, but with an unshakable decision. A man looked at his circumstances and declared, "This will not define me. I will command my destiny." You must do the same. Let the world sleepwalk. Let the masses scroll, doubt, drift. You were not made for mediocrity. You were not born to repeat the patterns of poverty. You were born to dominate your domain, to bend reality to the vision that burns in your soul. But first, you must face yourself, because the war for wealth is not fought in the market. It's not decided by algorithms, interest rates, or government policy. The true battlefield is between your ears. And most people lose before they ever take a step, because they believe the lie that wealth is for someone else, not you. No. You were not placed here to observe wealth like a museum exhibit, protected behind glass. You are placed here to own it, to become the kind of person whose mind magnetizes opportunity, whose actions produce results, and whose presence demands respect. So wake up. Your financial destiny is screaming for you. But it requires a new mind, a new code. You must destroy the default programming, the generational hand-me-downs of fear, scarcity, and small thinking. Listen carefully. No one inherits a millionaire mind. They build it. Henry Ford was not born with a silver spoon. He was a farm boy with greasy hands and an idea that machines could change the world. While others laughed, he built. While others hesitated, he systematized. While others chased approval, he chased efficiency, and he made history. Why? Because he decided to think differently, to outwork the lazy, to outlast the doubters, to bet on himself when the world told him no. And now the question echoes in your bones. Will you? Will you decide to see money not as a mystery, but as a mirror? A mirror reflecting your beliefs, your habits, your inner blueprint. Will you decide to take full ownership, not partial, not conditional, but total responsibility for every dollar in your life? Because that's where the shift begins. You see, most people don't have money problems. They have mindset problems. They don't need more tactics. They need more truth. They don't need to chase the latest trend. They need to confront the quiet voice inside that whispers, "You're not enough." Kill that voice. Burn it with the fire of clarity. You are enough. You are capable. You are built for more. But belief is not inherited. It's forged. And until you believe that you can command your financial destiny, no strategy in the world will save you. So the foundation must be this. Belief backed by action. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "Your word is your wand." What she meant is this: every thought you allow, every phrase you repeat, every story you tell yourself is programming your reality. Say you're broke, and you will be. Say you're unlucky, and you'll prove it. Say you don't know how, and your brain will oblige. But say, "I am responsible. I am rising. I am commanding wealth with purpose, with vision, with discipline." And the world begins to bend in your favor, because the universe responds to certainty. You don't need to scream it. You need to live it. In your habits, in your calendar, in the way you walk into a room. Confidence is not loud. It's earned. through hours, through sweat, through resilience. The men who moved mountains never waited for permission. Think of Rockefeller, starting with nothing, selling small goods before oil even entered his dreams. He didn't ask, "Is it the right time?" He made it the right time. He read the market like a general reads terrain. He studied the game. He spotted inefficiencies. He brought order to chaos. And in doing so, he built not just wealth. He built a dynasty. You don't need to drill for oil, but you do need to drill into your excuses. What are the stories you tell that keep you small? I didn't grow up rich. Neither did Buffett. I don't have connections. Neither did Ford. I'm not sure if I'm ready. No one is. At first. The difference is that successful people don't wait to feel ready. They act until they become it. They don't seek comfort. They seek growth. And if discomfort is the price, they pay it gladly. You must too. Because the truth is, your financial future is not in the hands of your boss, your government, or your parents. It's in your hands. The question is, will you rise to claim it? This world owes you nothing, but it offers you everything. If you're willing to pay the price in focus, in effort, in relentless execution, there is no shortcut, but there is a path. And those who walk it with courage, those who embrace the grind, those who keep their vision clear through chaos, they become unstoppable. So let this be your awakening. You don't need another podcast. You don't need another book you won't finish. What you need is a decision, a moment, a fire in your gut that says, no more. No more drifting. No more waiting. No more watching others live the life I was meant to command, because the clock is ticking. Not in fear, in urgency. Time is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally if you use it. But if you waste it, if you squander another year on doubt and distraction, you will watch the door of opportunity close slowly, quietly, and finally. And years from now, when your body is slower and your days are fewer, you will look back on this moment, and you will either burn with pride or drown in regret. So choose now, not someday. Now. Because once you do, the gears begin to turn. The mind sharpens. The body aligns. The world begins to shift. And you become the kind of person wealth can trust, not because you're lucky, but because you're ready, because you've commanded your destiny, with vision, with fire, with no apologies. Clarity. That's where transformation truly begins. Not with hustle, not with hype, but with brutal, beautiful clarity. The kind of clarity that cuts through noise like a blade. That strips away illusions, distractions, and inherited lies. You must ask yourself, what do I want? Truly, unapologetically, without editing myself for what sounds realistic. Because the mediocre mind kills dreams with polite language. But the mind of a titan speaks in absolutes. What do you want? Not what your friends expect. Not what your parents projected. Not what society sells. What you want. Down to the marrow. Down to the vision that haunts your quiet moments and stirs your soul awake. At 3:m. Write it down. Speak it out. Own it. Because clarity is power. Every Fortune 500 company began as a sentence on a napkin, a sketch in a notebook, a vision carried by someone willing to see it before the world could. Warren Buffett didn't build an empire by accident. He was precise. He understood his zone of genius. He made no apologies for his process. While others scrambled for trends, he waited with the patience of a lion. Why? Because his clarity was unshakable. You must become the same. Stop chasing 10 paths. Pick one. Master it. Burn your name into it. Because those who try to do everything become known for nothing. Clarity is not just knowing what you want. It's knowing what you will not tolerate. Distraction is a luxury you can no longer afford. The news cycle? Mute it. The opinions of broke friends? Ignore them. The dopamine drip of meaningless scrolling? Cut it off at the root. Because if you want uncommon results, you must live an uncommon life. Simplicity, focus, precision. These are the tools of the master. And when clarity is in place, purpose awakens. Purpose is the oxygen of financial greatness. It's what keeps you moving when results are delayed. It's what keeps your spine straight when the critics circle. It's what turns labor into legacy. Ask yourself, why must you rise? Not should, must. What's at stake if you don't command your financial destiny? Who suffers? Who misses out? Who watches you shrink and thinks that is what life must look like? Let it burn. Let the urgency fill your lungs. This isn't just about cars or houses or comfort. That's not purpose. That's decoration. Purpose is about becoming the kind of person who is trusted with influence, with abundance, with impact. The world does not need more rich people. It needs more people with purpose who know how to build wealth and wield it with wisdom. James Allen wrote, "Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are." And if you want to attract wealth, you must become wealth. In how you think, how you speak, how you carry yourself in the face of storms. Purpose sharpens discipline. And discipline. Oh, discipline is the throne upon which destiny is built. Let me say it clearly. Without discipline, you will fall. Not because you're weak, but because the world is built to distract, to pull you off course, to tempt you with easy paths, comfortable detours, and shiny illusions. But the disciplined man is unmoved. He wakes when others sleep. He plans when others guess. He moves with intention when others drift in chaos. He builds habits not based on mood, but on mission. That's the key. The mood will lie. The motivation will fade. But the mission, if it's anchored in clarity and purpose, will pull you forward through every valley, every storm, every desert. Look at Carnegie. The steel magnate did not build a fortune by being motivated. He built it by being relentless. He studied the markets. He pushed systems. He demanded excellence, not once, but every day. Because his standard was non-negotiable. You must set your own standard. And once set, never lower it. Not for tiredness, not for convenience, not for popularity. Because once you compromise your standard, you compromise your future. Discipline is freedom in disguise. Most won't see it that way. They'll call you obsessed, too intense, too focused. Let them talk, because the moment you water down your fire to keep others comfortable is the moment you abandon your destiny. And you are not born for comfort. You were born for command. So rise. Decide that your routines will reflect royalty. Your time will reflect value. Your daily rituals will become sacred, because they are the bricks of the empire you are building. Brick by brick, decision by decision, dollar by dollar. Now. The question becomes, will you act? Because belief without action is fantasy, and vision without execution is hallucination. You don't need more motivation. You need momentum. Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the thinkers from the titans. The Rockefellers acted. The Buffetts acted. Florence Scovel Shinn acted, with words, with declarations, with unwavering faith. They didn't ask for signs. They became the sign, and so must you. You don't wait for clarity, you create it. You don't wait for perfect timing, you declare the timing. You don't wait for someone to open the door. You build the door and knock it off the hinges. If you must, because the financial world rewards movers. It does not matter how small your first step is. What matters is the direction. And once you move in alignment with your purpose, you awaken a force inside you so ancient, so electric, that it cannot be stopped. But you must begin. Now. Leadership. Not of others. Not yet. First, of yourself. Because before you can command a team, a business, an enterprise, you must command your inner world. The greatest financial dynasties were not built by followers of trends. They were led by men and women who governed their emotions, their impulses, their doubts with the discipline of a general and the fire of a prophet. You must become the ruler of your inner kingdom. You think Rockefeller didn't face chaos? He did. Crashes, lawsuits, betrayals. Yet he moved like a man with iron in his blood, unshaken, focused, strategic, because leadership is not about never falling. It's about never folding. You want wealth? Then you must become the kind of person who can hold wealth. And that begins with leadership, forged in silence, in early mornings, in choices no one applauds, but everyone eventually sees. You lead through example, through integrity, through consistency. Not the kind of consistency that comes from routine alone, but the kind that comes from identity. You don't try to be someone who saves, invests, builds. You are that person. Every choice confirms it. Every sacrifice strengthens it. Every win becomes inevitable. Let your leadership be a quiet storm. Let it speak through how you handle pressure, how you treat people when no one is watching, how you show up when it's inconvenient. The world is watching, not with its eyes, but with its outcomes. Those who lead themselves earn the right to lead others. And those who lead with courage earn the trust of capital. Because capital is trust made visible. That's what investment really is. When someone gives you their money, they are saying, I believe in your judgment more than mine. They're placing faith in your clarity, your direction, your leadership. So the question becomes, can you be trusted? Not just with money, but with momentum, with responsibility, with results. You must become your own best investment. And then, only then, can you begin to command the game of wealth creation at its highest level. Investing. Let's make something clear. Investing is not gambling. It is not guessing. It is not throwing darts at the market, hoping something sticks. It is philosophy. It is patience. It is precision. Warren Buffett once said, the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And that, right there, is your advantage. While the masses chase quick wins, you play the long game. While they panic at dips, you see discounts. While they follow hype, you follow value. Value, the eternal currency. You must train your eye to see what others miss, whether in stocks, in people, in businesses, in yourself. The ability to assess value, true, intrinsic value, is one of the rarest and most powerful financial traits on earth. Learn it, study it like scripture, practice it like craft, and apply it with ruthless consistency. Because here's the truth. Every dollar you spend is a soldier. Either it fights for your future or bleeds for your distractions. Your capital must become disciplined. You don't let it sit idle. You don't blow it on status games. You send it to work. You make it your army. You command it with strategy, patience, and vision. Think like a Rockefeller. He didn't just build wealth, he compounded it. Over years, over decades. Through recessions, through attacks, through every wave of doubt. Because he saw money not as a toy, but as a tool to create freedom. Not just for himself, but for generations. You must begin to think generationally. That is the mindset of true builders. They aren't chasing dopamine. They're building dynasties. And you don't need billions to start. You need vision. You need discipline. You need to treat every dollar with the same respect you'd give a million. Because money multiplies under respect. It flees the careless. It punishes the impulsive. It vanishes from the fingers of those who do not honor its potential. But it serves those who understand it. Learn the language of capital. Learn too. Read balance sheets like poetry. Study markets like a warrior studies his enemy. Understand tax strategy like a game of chess. Because the elite play with tools the average never even knows exist, and no one is going to hand this knowledge to you. You must hunt it relentlessly, tirelessly, unapologetically. Because wealth is not for the passive, it is for the prepared. This is where resilience enters. Because even with belief, with vision, with discipline, you will fall. You will lose. You will make bad calls, miscalculate, get betrayed, face droughts. So what? Fall forward. Every empire that ever stood first bled. Every titan you admire once sat alone, defeated, unsure. But the difference was, they got back up, not once, 1,000 times. Resilience is the muscle that carries every other virtue on its back, and it is built only in the fire of adversity. Do not become resilient by reading about it. You earn it in silence, in solitude, in the moments when no one is clapping and everything hurts, but you show up anyway. Because resilience is remembering your mission. When your mood forgets it, it is showing up when your bank account says no, when your friends don't understand, when your efforts feel invisible. Still, you rise, because you are not doing this for applause. You are doing this for command, and command is not given, it is taken. So get up, not once, not twice, every time. As long as breath fills your lungs, you fight, because if the flame of vision still burns in your chest, then nothing is lost, and everything is possible. And when the fire flickers low, when the world feels heavy, and the mountain seems endless, return to learning. Learning is your eternal edge, because wealth evolves. Markets change, technology shifts, empires rise and collapse at the speed of innovation. The arrogant cling to what they know, but the wise, the truly wealthy, remain students forever. Henry Ford, who revolutionized industry with the assembly line, once said, "Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. And he was right. Ford studied not just machines, but systems. He sought understanding, not just information. He didn't just ask, "How can I make cars faster?" He asked, "How can I change the world's relationship with time?" That's the difference. Never settle for shallow knowledge. Don't just consume content, master principles. Learn from failure, learn from history, learn from mentors, learn from the pain. Because every experience, if seen through the right lens, becomes instruction. Books are the minds of dead giants, whispering secrets to the few willing to listen. Read them, apply them, outgrow them. Because learning without application is just another form of escape. And remember, the most dangerous trap in wealth building is success without wisdom. Because money amplifies who you are. It's a megaphone for your mindset. If you're reckless without money, you'll be destructive with it. If you're disciplined without wealth, you'll be unstoppable with it. So develop wisdom as you acquire wealth, so you don't lose one while chasing the other. And that wisdom must also include something deeper, something softer, but no less powerful. Gratitude. Gratitude is not weakness. It is not passive acceptance. It is not pretending everything is fine when it's not. Gratitude is power. It is the rare awareness of how far you've come and the fuel to go further. When you live in gratitude, you are not distracted by what you lack. You are energized by what you already hold. You shift from scarcity to sovereignty. You stop asking, "Why don't I have more?" and start commanding, "How do I multiply what I already have?" Florence Scovel Shinn understood this. Her teachings were rooted in the law of affirmation, the law of gratitude, the law of spoken command. She taught that wealth begins in the word. At what you declare shapes what you receive. Gratitude is a declaration that your life is already fertile ground for greatness. It keeps your spirit clean, your mind sharp, your focus pure, because the moment you stop chasing shadows and start appreciating the substance already in your hands, your energy changes. And when your energy changes, your outcomes shift. Abundance doesn't start with accumulation. It starts with alignment. And from that alignment, something incredible happens. Adaptability awakens, because life will never go as planned. Markets will crash. Partners will betray. Projects will fail. But the one who adapts, who bends without breaking, who reinvents without losing center, that one becomes untouchable. Adaptability is not compromise. It is evolution. It is learning the rhythm of reality and dancing with it instead of fighting it. Think of Amazon. Think of Apple. Think of Buffett's portfolio. The reason they survive, the reason they thrive, is not because they predicted everything, but because they adjusted with excellence when the winds changed. You must become like water, shapeless, formless, but powerful enough to carve through. Stone. Let your mind be firm in principle, but flexible in strategy. Let your vision remain fixed, but your path dynamic, because destiny bends not to those who scream at the storm, but to those who move with it, who harness it, who rise through it. And now that you have belief, mindset, clarity, purpose, discipline, leadership, investment, resilience, learning, gratitude, adaptability, what do? You command. You step forward. You stop waiting for permission, for signs, for the stars to align. You speak like a leader. You walk like an owner. You act like a general of your own financial war. This is not a rehearsal. This is your life. This is your one shot at building something that outlives you. You command your time, because it's the currency of kings. You command your habits, because they are the architects of your future. You command your mind, because it is the battlefield where empires are either won or wasted. You command your money, not with fear, not with guilt, but with strategy. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are the source of circumstance. You are not a victim of economy. You are the engine of economy. You are not simply chasing wealth. You are becoming it. So rise. No more waiting. No more hoping. No more hiding behind doubts dressed as humility. Command your financial destiny. Now.